Good evening, everyone, and welcome to London's Latte. My name is Shayana. I go by Shy. I first want to take the time to say thank you all to everyone who has shared, commented, liked my page, and have requested to be a part of the group. This is something that I have procrastinated on for a long time, and although I didn't plan on going live so soon, I felt that there was a strong need for it as I got a lot of feedback quickly in my inbox, and I didn't want to lose your all's attention. So before we get started, I just want to go over a few ground rules, and then I will talk about my journey, and the topic for tonight is surviving the first weeks. So first rule, we do not promote formula or supplementing of any kind in this group. I mean it in the nicest way possible because this is strictly for breastfeeding support, those that lactate, those that adopt and are looking for donor milk, those that, just in general want to learn more about breastfeeding and having a successful breastfeeding journey. If there are mothers that use formula and supplements and you decide that you want to eliminate it completely from your journey, I ask that you run it by your pediatrician, get their blessing, and then send me a message in my inbox so that we can create a game plan to eliminate it, so that you guys can strictly be giving your babies breast milk. The next rule that I have is to be kind to one another. This group is to love, support, uplift one another during their breastfeeding journey. I ask that if there are any individuals that feel that they have been singled out for any reason, or feel that something was said in a negative way that just didn't sit right with you, to let myself or Shakir know. He is also the admin of this group. He is my fiance who has pushed me to jumpstart this. So yeah, let us know if there's any issues that you may have and you don't want to post it publicly. You don't have to. Again, the page is more public to reach more mothers. The group is private, so everything there that's posted is in confidence. And if you're still not ready to post publicly on the group, feel free to send us a private message and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. My last rule is to please allow 24 hours for us to get back with you. We do like to make sure that we handle our requests in a timely fashion. I don't think that it'll take that long, but sometimes life happens. If it is an emergency and you need some assistance right away, please let us know in the messages so that we can take care of your need right away versus letting time go past. And we are going to get started. So if there are any mothers that have questions, I ask that you hold them at the end of this live. I'll leave it as an open floor discussion, and you can comment down below whatever questions that you may have or concerns, and I will answer them in real time. Give me just a second. I'm going to go ahead and get those popped up so that I can see them when it's time. And if you're tuning in, please comment down below so that I can say hello and welcome you. Hey Mo, thanks for joining. Okay, so first let's talk about what?
Volume.
I'm sorry guys. Shakir's the director. So what brought me here? Just my motto that I have been going by. Landon created the vision and London made it a reality. My breastfeeding journey started 4.5 years ago with my son, Landon, who was born on November 25th of 2014. I didn't really know anyone that had breastfed, not in my family, not friends. I just knew it was something that I wanted to try and something that I was going to be dedicated to. I didn't do any research. It's just something that naturally came over me and I said I was going to do it. No one told me that it was going to be as hard as it is or was, but I survived. My journey lasted 2.5 years. The first 6 weeks are the hardest, and I will say just setting a goal for myself and saying, okay, this is the best thing that I'm giving my baby, just kind of stuck with me. And from that is what geared me to keep pushing, keep thriving. like I said, we nursed for about 2.5 years. One day I remember Landon had a cold. He normally wanted to comfort nurse just because he didn't feel good. But this particular day, he looked at me and he told me that he didn't need his Mickeys. That's what he called my breasts whenever he wanted to nurse. He locked eyes and said that he didn't need Mickeys anymore. From that moment, I went and took a shower and I felt some type of way. Nobody said that it was going to be easy to stop nursing him. I felt lost because he wanted to stop, but I had to reflect back on my journey. That's a long time. Normally mothers, they don't last that long or say that there's, you know, no nutritional need or value to breastfeed your child after 1 year. I did my research and that's just what worked for us. So fast forwarding to today, I gave birth on October the 23rd, which was about 12 days ago, to my daughter, London Sky. This breastfeeding journey has been great. I have no complaints. We left the hospital that Friday. I'd say that my milk came in on Saturday. I got home, I was pretty engorged, and although I said I wasn't going to pump so soon with her, it's something that I had to do to relieve myself, as the amount of milk that I was producing versus what she was actually eating, because you know, newborns sleep for a very long time. I just couldn't keep up, so I opted to start pumping. So let's jump right into the first 6 weeks. So as I stated before, the first 6 weeks are the hardest. At that point, if you don't make it past the 6-week mark, or you decide that you want to give up, I get it. It's not a walk in the park. From the time that you go home to the time that, you know, you first nurse your baby at home and you don't have the hospital staff or the lactation consultant there, like, it's hard. You don't know what time to feed them, what schedule to be on. It's difficult. The first thing that I want to say that will gear you towards a successful journey is to remember that what you put in is what you're going to put out. What I mean by that is you have to have a consistent amount of food that you put inside of your body. If you're not eating, your baby's going to get empty calories, and by that I mean you'll get the milk, but they'll be hungry a lot sooner than they should be. It's almost like drinking water, and we all know that giving water to babies is not recommended. It's not safe. So yeah, and before I go any further, my disclaimer is I am not a professional. I do have over 2.5 years of breastfeeding experience. I have had mothers make a successful journey to 6 months, a year, past a year. This is what works for me. If you disagree with anything that I've stated, or if you notice any kind of casualties, point them out and let's hash it out. Going back to the diet, so I normally take in about 2,500 to 2,800 calories a day, and I know you're wondering, like, what does that look like? Basically, I don't miss a meal. So breakfast for me is oatmeal, bananas. Oats are a natural galactigo. I'm probably not saying that right, but a galactigo is basically a natural way to produce milk flow. And I will post a list in the group so that you guys know what I'm referring to. But I eat breakfast. After breakfast, I have a morning snack. After that, I have lunch. I have a snack after lunch. I have dinner. I have a snack after dinner, and I might have a second dinner. Again, you have to put in your body in order to put out to give to your baby. Water is another thing. You have to drink water. If you're not eating like you're supposed to, if you're not drinking water, you're not going to be successful at this. There's no way around that. As far as water goes, I don't really count how much I take in, but just to give you an idea, you should be consuming at least 60 ounces or more. I know that that is a lot, but with breastfeeding anyway, you should be thirsty. That should be your number one thing that gears you towards, okay, I need to be drinking some water. But again, very important. So if I have mothers here that are not eating the amount of food that I have stated, you got some work to do. That's the only way that you're going to be successful with this. So if you think that your milk came in great and then all of a sudden it just kind of diminished, well, ask yourself if you're eating. If you're not eating, you probably want to start there. If you're not drinking, you definitely want to start there. There is no way around that. And that's the first thing that I'm going to ask you when you come in my inbox and you ask, what is it that you can do to boost your supply? I'm going to ask you, are you eating? Are you drinking? And if you say no, or you don't have an appetite, because I know sometimes that's how it is, but you have to remember that you need to eat. Just like you make sure to feed your baby, you need to eat as well. We have to take care of ourselves as mothers. So don't be upset if I start there, because I'm going to always start with your diet. That's at the top of my list. The next thing that I want to talk about are the supplies that you need. The things that you need, or the things that I find essential to breastfeeding are the following. And I have a handy dandy box here with all my gadgets and stuff. So I'm just going to pull it out and get started. So this here is my electric breast pump. You will need this, and I'm sorry that I threw away the box. I said that I wasn't going to, but I will also post a picture of what the boxing looks like, the websites that you can get this from. For those of you that don't know, you do get an electric pump for free with your insurance. If there's mothers out there that do not have an electric breast pump, send me a private message and we'll get you taken care of. I will list all the websites that I normally venture out to see. If you rather do the research on your own, just go in Google and type in free breast pump via insurance, and you'll get a list of different websites. The website that I used this time, as well as the last time with Landon, is called edgepark.com. That is EDGEPARK.com. You go on there, you search for the name of your insurance plan, and you click on the list of breast pumps that you can choose from. There's normally about 6 or 7. I normally do my research first just to see reviews and kind of things. That kind of gears me towards what I'm going to select. But what drove me to pick this one? With Landon, I had what was called a Free Me hands-free pump, and it was a lot bulkier than this. But it basically has 2 cups that you insert into your bra. Let me show you what these look like. So this is a cup. This is a 25 millimeter flange for my big breasts. So it goes inside of your bra, and then the tubing from the breast pump sits down inside of the cup. So this is a more discreet hands-free. As you can see, this is it. It has a belt clip so that I can clip it to my waist. I can walk around. I can wash dishes if I need to. I can pick up the baby. Only thing you can't do is lay down, go to sleep, or bend over, because it will spill your milk out. Aside from an electric pump, I like to use a manual pump. This is something that my friend Katie gave me. She's my breast friend. And this, I can normally get about 6 ounces or so in less than 15 minutes. And this one, you kind of, you place it on your breast and you guide it as far as how strong you want it to pull. If you want a slower motion, or if you want a faster motion, you kind of gear it towards this. And this is a nice tool to have when you're out on the go. You're at the mall, you don't have the baby with you, and you just need to relieve yourself. Aside from hand expressing, I would use this. This here is a silicone pump. Most of you may know the name called the Haka. This is an off-brand. It's called Goody Home. I will also post the link to purchase these. I got this from Amazon. It came with 2 for $7. My good friend Shane taught me about this thing. This is a game changer. If you don't have one, I highly recommend that you get one. I normally use this whenever I'm nursing London. I have her on one side, and this catches the letdown or the milk flow from the opposite breast. For those of you that don't know what a letdown is, it's within the first 10 to 15 minutes. I get a letdown in about 30 seconds, so I don't know about everybody else. But it's the strong pins and needle kind of feeling that you get. You may notice from the other side, if you don't have your bra pulled up on this side, that your milk will automatically flow. And that's because the baby is pulling out from one breast, and our breasts are connected, so you're gonna get a milk flow from here. I normally get about 3 to 6 ounces from this. I am an oversupplier, so if you don't catch that amount, there's nothing wrong with you. I just respond super well to a pump. But this right here, I definitely recommend. And I'll touch more on this as time goes on. You need a good nursing bra. This one's a little raggedy. This one's from Landon 4.5 years ago. So the nursing bras are game changers as well because they flip down and that gives you easy access to nurse the baby. You don't have to pull both sides down, so you can just pull one side down and clip it back. This is very convenient during nighttime feedings. If you don't have a good nursing bra, you can also use a sports bra, and the sports bra, I just recommend that it be a little bit bigger just so that you have that give and take and you're not restricted. You still need to be able to put your breast pads in there and then lift it up to nurse the baby. You need your go-to bottles. You don't have to offer your baby a bottle. Not everyone has the opportunity or the luxury to give baby breast the entire time. So all of us that have to go back to work, I think it's a good idea to introduce a bottle while you're home with the baby before you return to work, so that the baby's comfortable, the baby knows the difference, and they don't mind taking that bottle when you're away. Playtex with the drop-in liners is my favorite. Here is one here. I'm sorry, it does have milk in it. London had to eat before we started filming. But this, you just drop the liners in, which is convenient for easy, quick cleanup. It screws back and it has like a lock-in method so that your milk doesn't spill. Aside from the Playtex, my other favorite is the Avent colic bottle. It allows no air to go through as the baby's drinking from it. These are a lot smaller. Just be sure that whenever you do pick out a bottle, your nipple is geared towards however old the baby is. So they have a 0-month nipple, they have a 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, 4 month, and the list goes on. And that is just to ensure that, thank you, that this is Landon, that's my son. That is just to ensure that, you know, the amount of milk coming out of the bottle is sufficient for the baby. You don't want to give your newborn a 4-month-old nipple because it's going to pour into their mouth. They're going to choke. You've got gas, you've got other issues. It's not good. The next thing on my list that is essential are breast milk storage bags. I will say that it is not recommended for mothers to pump before 6 weeks. However, again, I am an oversupplier. With Landon, I created my oversupply on purpose. I pumped moments after he was born. I did initially feed him. He latched on for a good 6 minutes, and after that, he kind of dwindled off, and I started to pump. So I created that on purpose. I believe that this time, because my body did it for so long, it knows what to do, my milk came in a lot stronger and a lot faster. So again, I'm just putting that disclaimer out there because it is a thing. Most lactation consultants, nurses say that they do not recommend you to pump within the first 6 weeks. Again, I do. This is my thing. And the reason behind that, when you have an oversupply or you're producing more than what your baby is taking, you open up the door for things like mastitis, which can put you in the hospital. You get a fever in your breast, you get lumps, you get uncomfortable, you know, it's not good. Aside from that, you get clogged ducts. If you've ever had that uncomfortable feeling after being engorged and it's kind of lumpy and it takes a while to go away, that's a clogged duct. And because of these things, they do not recommend you to pump within the first 6 weeks. You have to be dedicated, you have to be on a schedule. When your breasts fill up, you've got to relieve yourself, whether that's feeding your baby or pumping. So storage bags, you need these. There's just no way around that. The next thing is nipple butter. My preferred brand is Medela Tender Care. This is also a good lip gloss chapstick. But when your breasts are sore from nursing, which the first 6 weeks, they're very sore and tender, cracked, bleeding, all that you can think of, this is my go-to. So I'll take some and I'll rub it on my areola as well as my nipple. I'll completely saturate that. It is safe for the baby to nurse after you have applied this. So there's no worries there. Yeah, aside from that, if you don't like the nipple butter, what you can do after the baby nurses or with clean hands, apply breast milk and let it air dry. That will also soothe your nipples so that they're not cracked. I don't have it in my container, but a good nursing tank top or a regular tank top is also essential. That way when you're out in public, you can do what I like to call the double shirt method. And from here you can discreetly pull down your tank, put baby under, and you can nurse like this without exposing. I wear these under my shirts all the time, especially in public, because you never know when you're gonna have to nurse the baby. If you're not comfortable with that, that's fine. That's you. That's just something that works for me. There's gonna be a time where you don't have time to warm up a bottle, or you don't have time to, you know, do the nice and fancy feeding, and you're gonna have to put baby to breast. And this is what works for me. So the last thing that I have in here is a nipple shield. Let me put some hand sanitizer on it so I can show you guys what it looks like. With Landon, I had inverted nipples or flat nipples, so they weren't big enough to reach his soft palate, so he had a hard time latching. The nipple shield looks like this, and it's an artificial nipple. You just place it over your nipple, and then baby will latch to that, and it draws the milk out of your nipple, and it reaches the soft palate so that baby can nurse efficiently. If you don't have inverted nipples and you don't have a problem with the sizing there, another reason that you would use a nipple shield is due to a lip tie or a tongue tie. Landon had a lip tie. London has a lip tie. It's not worth correcting. It's not something that I'm going to pay for to correct. It's just not, it's not a need, and eventually they grow to where they can latch properly without hurting you and without sucking in a bunch of air. If you don't know what a lip tie is or a tongue tie is, I will also leave in the comments a picture of that so that you can take a look at your baby just to see. If you hear a clicking noise, that's borderline for your baby might have a tongue tie or a lip tie. And we can take a look at that too. If you want to send me a picture, I can take a look at it and let you know. And it's up to you if you want to correct it or not, but the nipple shield is also great for that. So aside from the things that you need, two more things. This is what is called a quick clean micro steam bag. So in between washing your pump parts, you can put these inside the bag, add some water to it. It has instructions on the back of what to do. And this is just kind of a, not really a lazy kind of thing, but if you don't feel like, you know, getting the soap and the water out and standing over the sink and washing your parts out, this is quick, clean, and it's safe. It sanitizes your parts right then and there. They also have sanitizing wipes strictly for your breast pump parts, so that if you're out in public or you drop a part accidentally, or you don't have the bag, you don't have access to a microwave, you can just take the wipes and wipe the parts out. It's clean, it's safe for the baby. Once your milk gets into it, you don't have to worry about contaminating anything. It's perfectly fine. Let's see here. So aside from all of the things that I think is essential to your breastfeeding journey, I want to talk about setting goals. So I'll first start by saying that any amount of breast milk is better than none. So I think it's important for you to set a goal. That way you know how long it takes you to get there, or you know, you can kind of mark it off your calendar. I know I did. So I started off with saying the first 6 weeks. Once I made it to the first 6 weeks, I set another goal, and that was 6 months. Excuse me. From there, I set a year, and after that, I was gonna let whatever happens, and we lasted 2.5 years. I think this is important because a lot of mothers get discouraged during the first 6 weeks because they are the hardest. But when you write it down and make it a reality, or make a mental note, you know, this is what I said I'm going to do, you stick with it, the time will pass before you know it. It is key to making it through, because the first 6 weeks, they're hell. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. But I think that if you make it past the first 6 weeks, you can conquer anything. It's the hardest. Yeah. So let me see here. Y'all forgive me because I'm so nervous. Okay, so this went a lot faster than what I expected. So that's my cap on the first 6 weeks. Now I want to take the time to let you guys go ahead and comment if you have any questions. I know that this was a really short discussion, but I just wanted to get my feelers out here, let you guys know that I'm real and that I was gonna get on here and say something to you guys. So if you have any questions or concerns, drop them down below. I'll give you guys a few minutes. That way I can answer these in live time. And we'll just wait. Hi Shane, hi Kayla, hey Sashay. Questions. Feel free to ask me anything about my journey. If you have any issues that you are experiencing and you haven't had time to speak with a lactation consultant, I am not one, but I do plan on becoming one. Let me know if you have any questions. And while I'm on maternity leave for 12 weeks, I do plan on going live every night. So as soon as I'm done, I will start on my content for tomorrow. And after those 12 weeks are up, I'll kind of see what things are like going back to work. If I don't come on every night, I'll come on at least once a week. These videos will be posted on my YouTube channel, on our group page. If you post in there and you have questions or you want to refer back to an older post, use the search feature. That way you can type in just one word of the topic and it'll pull everything up. I'll try to have everything filed away so that you guys can refer back to it. If you've forgotten anything or you wanted to see what someone said on a post, you can refer back. Since we don't have any questions, I am going to sign off. Feel free to send me a message if you don't want to post publicly, and I will answer them as soon as possible. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it so much.